Hey there, happy Profit First Allocation Day. Today I want to talk to you about your second round of eliminating expenses. And it's a little bit different than the first one. That's the very first step in walking through Profit First is to look at your expenses and eliminate things you don't need anymore, things you aren't using, things you can do without. And you can still provide great products and services for your clients. But this is round two. So you've done some pricing work, you've started making allocations, but things aren't exactly where they need to be. Maybe your profit account isn't at 10 or 15%, whatever bracket you're falling into, or maybe you're not allocating enough to taxes, or maybe you're not paying yourself enough, which is really where we entrepreneurs typically take money away from is ourselves. And we don't want you to do that. We want you to love the work that you're doing and do more life as a result of it. So you're working less and paying yourself more with Profit First. That's the whole point. Mike Michalowicz is on a mission to reduce or eliminate or eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. And part of that is making sure that you get paid. So we've had round one of eliminating expenses, and now it's time for round two. If you've gone through other pricing exercises and started allocating things to the right accounts, and that you have your accounts in order and your books in order. This is going to be key, like cleaning up your books, like we did with Step Financial, was key for us to be able to see. It just gives you the visibility to see what products and services and expenses are delivering on the investment that you're making in them. So the way that I think about it is I bought a house this year, and I bought a ton of yard and power tools, some of them for like a one job thing, so that I could cut something at an angle. I bought a miter saw, and it's for one project. And I spent hundreds of dollars for a power tool to do one project. So far, it's not like I can't use it again. And in my head, I thought when I bought the miter saw, I was like, oh, I'm going to use this for these 5-10 projects. But then you run out of time, and let's be honest, like with a house, there's so many things that you need to do. You run out of energy for doing another project. I'm realizing now, but I have this hundreds of dollars miter saw that I could use, but right now it's only getting used for one project. And I think we do that in business too. We buy a software, we buy tools. I mean, you can buy literal tools like this full focus planner that I get every quarter, which I love and definitely use. So that's been a good investment for me. But there are other things, books that I don't read, absolutely buy them. And there are hard tools that you get. There are resources, people that you might be paying, vendors that you might be paying that you use for one job, one thing, one time. But in your head, when you make that investment, you think, oh, there's so much potential here. I could grow this product or service that this one client asked me for this thing. And I thought, yes, we can do it because we can duplicate that and do it for a lot of people. But when it comes right down to it, no one else is buying that thing, that product or service. Maybe you're not even offering it to other people because you don't see a place where it would fit yet. And it's all about focus. Like you only have so much time. You can only focus on so many things. And so now you've bought up and invested in all these products and tools and physical things and resources and paying vendors for something that you use one time, just like my miter saw. So the example that I give from my business is social media. So back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, we did social media for clients, and there were tools where you could push it out to several social media channels, and that was expensive to buy those tools and to get templates that are designed in the right dimensions for each social channel, and then the training that you need for each platform, because there is a specific way that you post on Twitter versus on LinkedIn versus on YouTube. So there was a lot of brain power and time that was going into figuring it out and doing research and doing all this the right way. And then we were doing social media for like 2 clients. So, but in my head, when I bought some of these tools, whenever I attended some training, when I put some of these templates together, I thought, oh, this could be for a lot of people. And it could have been, but there were other things that I liked better. Let's face it, I really liked some of the other things way better than social media. And on top of that, my clients needed very specific things before they needed social media, like websites as an example. And that had a better margin for us based on the amount of time that we had to spend to invest in building the website. So taking those things into account, realizing that there are expenses in your books that you're using for one or two clients, or that are not giving you a good ROI. So the thing that we did, and the rule that I like to use, is if I make an investment into a product, service, or training, I want 5 to 10 times the return on investment for that time, for that money within a year. And if I'm not getting that, then it gets eliminated. We don't do it again. And I also have a little bit of a limitation on how many of those investments I can make, because I get excited about new things, and we'll make lots of tiny and sometimes bigger investments in new things, new products and services, because I see all the possibilities that could happen. And then they don't materialize because I have a split focus. I'm really focused on something else versus the new product and tool that I got excited about, and then it's not so shiny after a couple of weeks, months later. So that's the rule that I had to put for myself, and I can tell myself and other clients, oh, I can't do that. My financial advisor doesn't allow me to make that investment, or I've only got so many trainings I can take. I have a budget for training that I can invest in. I'm only going to spend this much this year, and this doesn't fall on the list yet. It's not my area of focus right now. My financial advisor says no, so I can do that. And the only way that I can see into the ROI of a product or service or an expense that I'm putting out there is to have my books clean. So I went through the whole Clean Up Your Books program with Step Financial, and that gave me visibility into expenses and products and services, and what kind of return on investment I'm getting, and what kind of margin I'm making on each of those products and service offerings. So that's the financial piece. You can sort of list your products and services as long as you have clean books and you've got visibility into it. You can list them by the revenue they're generating, and then the expenses that you're outlaying against them. Does it make sense? Are you getting a 5 to 10 times ROI within a year for the expenses and the investment that you're giving them in time and money? That's the financial piece, but we can't stop there. And the whole piece of this process revolves around Mike McAllowit's book, The Pumpkin Plan. It's a whole growth and scalability strategy. It's a process that you go through to make your business more scalable. And one of the pieces of that is about niching down. And a lot of times we talk about niching in target audience. And this is important. You have to know your best clients, and you have to talk to them about the products and services that they value. Don't leave that step out, because you don't want to eliminate a product or service that the best clients that you would like to duplicate or multiply. You don't want to take a service off that they highly value. That if they highly value it, it probably means that you can do some pricing increase so that you can get more margin out of that. And also, if you want to duplicate those people, and we do want to duplicate our best clients, then you likely want to do more advertisement and marketing around that product or service so that you can get the ROI that you're looking for out of the investment that you're making in that product or service. So that's a key point. Don't forget to talk to your people. Conversations are the most important part of getting your business running right and scaling it for growth. And then the second piece around that is, what do you like to do? Do you like to offer this product or service? It's a thin margin. It's costing you money. If you hate it, get it out. That's what we did. I didn't like doing social media, so we eliminated it. On top of the fact that it was costing us money to provide it for the 2 clients that we were doing the work for. Could we have gotten more social media clients if I had focused? Yes, probably. But I didn't even like doing it. And so that reduces the likelihood that I would actually focus and get it done. So doing the list to see what is actually getting me an ROI and what isn't, finding out those pieces that aren't, and then talking to my best clients to see what services and products they needed and wanted from us, and realizing that some of these offerings that were thin margins or costing us something, they didn't even value that much. Like, they wouldn't pay more money to have us do that. And then the third piece was figuring out, did I like it? Did I not like it? Let's eliminate it from the bunch. But really, you're looking at this in totality, and then in an ongoing basis, you've got a KPI, a key performance indicator, that you can watch regularly and see, is this product or service performing by giving me a 5 to 10 times an ROI for the resources that I'm spending on it? And that can be vendors, contractors, your time. Don't forget to add your time into it. And the expense that you're outlaying in tools that you have to use to provide it. And this is how you start to get to, okay, niching around product offering. So we talk about niching a lot in terms of your ideal audience, and it's really important around that. But you can also niche your product offerings and say, we only do this thing or this limited number of things that are all related and they have a system around them. And that makes you more scalable and profitable, because scaling is all about systems. You have to have systems in place, and that means delivering the same things and getting the same results from them over and over again. And you become the specialist in doing that and putting more value add things so that the offering and what a client gets out of it is super productive for them. They also need an ROI out of what you're offering. And if that return on investment, if you do more value add things around one product offering, you're more likely to get a huge return on investment for the people that you're providing the product or service for. So don't be like me and buy a miter saw for one project. Be like the me that eliminated social media from our business services and became more profitable as a result. As soon as we shaved that product offering out, the scary part was we lost that client business for those 2 clients we were providing it for. But then we were able to grow things that we knew how to do over and over and over again in a way that gave us a higher margin. Those clients came and filled the gaps almost immediately when we eliminated the products and services that we didn't love, that our clients didn't value enough to pay more money for, and that were a thin margin or were actually losing money for us. So this is a whole second round of eliminating expenses from your books, and it has to do with trimming down your products and services so that you can build a scalable business, because we all want to work less and make more money so that we can do more life. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you next week on this Profit First Allocation Day. Bye.